I'm not going to say a single word about the Tennessee Titans record against the Indianapolis Colts because I was a punter, and there's no reason for me to talk about that. With that being said, we did not punt much against the Tennessee Titans, so you probably have no clue who I am to begin.
Look, I'm unstoppable. Forget your defense, nothing but an obstacle. Run it back, switch it up, call it audible. Serving up them Hail Marys till the game over with the showstopper. So hot, you gotta blow on it. I said I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll pass to my left while I'm looking to my right. Hit them right in the chest. It be looking like magic. Better give me the throne. I ain't talking about Patrick, but I rep my home. I'm never at the end of my zone. I'm bad to the bone. Eating up these pig skins like they chicharrones, and you a douche cabron. Mira, mira at the mirror on the wall. I'm the greatest of them all. They gon' put me in the hall. Your name is only written in a bathroom stall. Quit your stalling and make a play. My drive too long, pop the clutch, I don't pump the brakes. I know what it takes to gain the muscle, get rugged. These butterfingers be fumbling, squash the scrimmage and rub it in Robitussin. How I give them concussion, they see in double, they rushing and pass the shovel, the dirt and rubble, I bury them under it. Stay in your huddle and get 10 yards back, never turn your back. I'ma pull your flag, I go full contact, out punch, out kick like a shotgun.
How's everybody doing this evening? Yes, give me a moment because my co-hosts are currently trying to raise my blood pressure. So yeah, we're just going to so we're for Austin to get back and probably have some technical difficulties. Oh yeah, man, how's everybody doing this fine evening?
Oh, just another week of winning football games.
Yes, what he said.
It do be facts though, so I get it. I'm with you.
Yeah, what he said. It's feeling good to be the team, man, that you haven't beat in a while. Yeah. So I'm feeling good.
Yep. Hey, Leslie Allen says, gentlemen, Leslie, good to have you. Glad to see you here. It's going to be a good one today. But you know what? Without further ado, let's just get started. Welcome to the HorseShoe Mob Podcast, where we're bringing to you everything Colts related, sprinkling in some Titan slander, which, it's very easy these days. They're going to see the slander a little bit better from the couch since, they've been eliminated from playoff contention. But you know what? That's neither here nor there. We ain't even going to talk about that, okay? But just know you're on the couch, all right? Well, so without further ado, let's just get into it. You see the guys, but, we're just going to go ahead, as always, let you know who we have. So, of course, we're going to start off. We have the silent assassin, Austin Cook, everybody.
Yeah, what's up? I'm Austin.
You know what? One of these days, you're going to give us a two truths and a lie in the very beginning, and we're just going to love it. All right? And we have with us the guy who has officially changed his Twitter handle, and I'm not sure why, but, we're just going to go with it. We have Josh Sr., everybody.
Who is Josh Sr.?
I didn't say what it was. But okay, cool. That sounds good.
There's just notice that you changed it. That's all.
we have with us the host of the Longhorn fan battle and the guy who apparently is getting blocked by cricket developers, Harish Dukala.
I just want to invite everyone to a group chat where we can all have a good time. Talk about all stuff culture.
No, we're not going to do that. All right, and then I'm Chris Jackson. Yes, thank you for that. All right, and you know what, let's get into it. But before we do, first, go to www.fanbattlesports.com, where you're going to be able to see all AFC South related content, and other content actually, because I do believe, Harish, that the Longhorn Fan Battle also has like articles and things on there as well. Correct?
Yeah, sure. We got all sorts of shit on there.
I don't like the way you say that. Like if we're just
I say it in a way, it's like what I really mean by we have all sorts of shit on there is like we don't have anything at all.
You know what? How about this? How about no? Okay, but we'll go there for.
That's what I meant though.
Yeah. Okay, fan. You know what? I'm not doing this tonight. All right, so go there for your Texas Longhorns fan battle, also your AFC South. We have articles specifically for the HorseShoe Mob Podcast. We have articles, past clips, bios, all that good stuff. Make sure that you're going to www.fanbattlesports.com. And then we do have a Michael Tesmer is with us, who is also known as the guy who irritates people in AFC South Fan Battle. But you know what? We're okay because he roots for our team, so that's fine. Irritation is good as long as it's on your side, right? But yes, so make sure you go to www.fanbattlesports.com. And without further ado, let's just get into it. All right, let's just get into some of this news that we have going on, and there's no lack of it. So let's just So Isaiah McKenzie and Tony Brown, for some reason, were suspended. So for context, they were both healthy scratches from this past game that we had versus the Steelers, and then we come to find out they're suspended for the rest of the season. What the F? Does anybody know anything? Anybody care to speak on it? Because right now I'm very confused by this news. I know Tony Brown has, for the most part, been like very, he's kind of been like a lightning rod when it comes to, the team and everything. But this is very weird timing. But I don't know. You guys can elaborate a little bit more because I'm lost.
Usually when it comes to conduct detrimental to the team, it probably involves something legal. It involves something with drug policy stuff. So my guess is it's one of those two things. It's weird that it's both of them, so that kind of leaves me concerned. Hopefully they're not connected in any way. But most of the time when it's conduct detrimental to the team, it's probably something illegal or drug policy.
Okay, and that's the reason why it's just like it makes a little bit more sense. But then again, it's weird for a guy like Tony Brown who, like I said, has been silently like one of the leaders, like for special teams, just kind of being that guy who's just been like all energy, basically being out there with the team. So it's kind of disheartening. I think we spoke about it before, but it's just like, for me personally, I didn't like the Isaiah McKenzie signing. I know that there were Colts fans out there that said, oh no, it was a good signing because he contributed to special teams. It was like, no, he was brought in to replace Paris Campbell, and he has not. He was a wide receiver 4 or 5 at best, and then now he's a special teams guy who's suspended for the rest of the year. So I don't know. I don't know. What about you, Austin? I don't know. Or in Josh or Austin, doesn't it?
I mean, yeah, it's confusing. Like everybody just wants to know why it happened. But like as far as on the field stuff, Isaiah McKenzie, sure, he came in to replace Paris Campbell, but he has been our kick returner and punt returner since Flowers went out, and he hasn't done a bad job. But also Josh Downs can do that as well, so it's not like a huge loss. But Tony Brown is really good when it comes to like punt coverage and kickoff coverage. So I mean that might hurt a little bit, but it didn't hurt us that much against the Steelers. So I mean, we'll just see how it goes moving forward.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, and so what about you, Josh? Because I know that you had something to say. Sorry about that.
It's all good. I'm different from you guys, you three. I was hoping that Tony Brown was suspended since the Saints game. So this loss does not hurt me at all. I'm okay with that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take a sip of that.
Oh, Jesus.
Take a sip of that. I am glad.
If you wasn't to take a sip, all you had to do was just say, "I'm just going to take a sip right now."
But I give you guys saying for special teams, he was one of our ace on special teams. I already lost Ashton Doolin, and it's just been a issue since last year. So it is a big loss. McKenzie, I mean, what did we lose? I mean, even if he did, replace Paris Campbell, he didn't do anything either. So I mean, you replace nothing with nothing. The guy stayed hurt a lot.
Come on, man.
Last year was his only healthy season.
They're doing better than Isaiah McKenzie did this year.
Correct. You are right. But, I mean, you're replacing him with nothing right now. So the guy that they just got in free agency probably going to be better than both of them.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So, I mean, it wasn't a big surprise for me when I saw that because, I mean, we can get guys. You already know Chris Ballard going to get, some gem in free agency, some undrafted free agent and replace those guys. And we're just going to keep on moving. So it's
don't piss me off before the other preseason. Like, don't do this, Josh. Don't listen. You know how I feel about Bargain Bin Ballard and his. Oh yeah, well he's a 7th rounder, diamond in the rough. No, what you're not going to do is piss me off before this. Okay, we have 3 games left in this season. Why are we talking about that shit right now? Absolutely. Matter of fact, moving on. I refuse. Colts worked out Jarvis Landry today. Because I guess in light of the Isaiah McKenzie, you're not going to do this, Josh. I'm telling you right now.
I mean,
by the way,
the guy who worked out won't get signed because we got no money.
Bro,
what do you mean you got no money?
We got like $200,000. That's all it's going to cost.
I mean, he wants $300,000. And better guys, he has his price set.
His number. That's right. Yeah. No, that's true. You're right about that. No, I'll give you. That's actually really good. Chris, it's $200,000.
All right. So, as they've been effectively muted, we will now go ahead and proceed. So, Jarvis Landry is working out for the Colts. Now, contrary to what these two are saying, like I said, he'd come in probably on a vet minimum, very similar to what the Eagles got Shaq for, which, by the way, it's just like glad to see him back out on the field. I hope that he's still recovering properly because he just didn't look like the same maniac last night. But I mean, we'll see. But
just saying, you're maniac. I'm just saying.
We didn't have to talk about that.
I'm just saying. I'm just here to talk about the facts.
All right, so we're going to go through the comments because y'all are on some other shit tonight. So, yeah, it's just like I almost threw up. I rooted for the Titans once in my life, and they let me down. Well,
2 problems.
They let down a whole fan base, so, it's whatever.
Right.
First time I'm hearing about it. It's like they're not letting anything out. I've looked over the last 4 hours, and that's in regards to Isaiah McKenzie and Tony Brown because, like I said, I haven't been able to find anything. I mean, I don't think we will find anything. They're very tight-knit on how they go about things. I think the only reason why we found out about, the news of the whole Rodgers things over the summer was because of the fact that it was a gambling-related thing. So, yeah, that was we're probably not going to hear anything. He said, not for nothing, but Josh Sr. be posting too much lately. Also unrelated, y'all should change the name to HorseShoe Mob. Sir, no.
You know what? I actually have something for Todd because at this point of the season, Gardner Minshew has won more games than Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, I'll take another sip to
that. Because we're here to talk about facts.
Yes.
I'm just spitting the facts.
FACKS.
Yo. He said, y'all better Josh me. No, we're not. I got you. No. He said, don't nobody care about you having their back, and I do what I want. Okay, that's fine. All right. He's like, he's right. Campbell was horrible. Campbell wasn't horrible. He was just injury prone. When he played, he was good, but the thing is, he barely ever played. So, yes, no. He said both guys haven't done anything good for the team. Brown has lost us games. McKenzie drops passes and fumbles, kickoffs and punches. Which, to me, personally, recipe for disaster. And then vet minimum is about $500K. Okay, because I thought it was about $800K. Because I know, well, that's what Shaq signed for. I think I
thought it was $700
in Philly. It could be, but either way, it's just like it's not going to be over $1 million. Yeah. And then he said, "Oh wow, Todd is a Gags fan." Okay, that's. He said the Duval Dandy is on my shit list, and then he also says, "Thanks, Urban." Hashtag, yeah, Mr. Finger Popper himself. So then
I don't know if we want to get Todd and Michael Testament going in.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm ready for that.
No, absolutely not. So then let's just go ahead and recap this Colts versus Steelers game. All right. So this was another game where uncharacteristically bad coming out the gate, 13-0 to start, and then, as always, Shane Steichen, masterclass in coaching. What's going on, little lady? But yeah, so I'm gonna say it's just like y'all can go ahead and just get us started with the recap because like I said, there's a lot to discuss when it comes to that. But yeah, start us off. Like I said, whoever I would call on Austin, but he hasn't given us our 2 truths and a lie yet. So
I'm still thinking.
All right, so tell us. It's just like what how do we get off to such a bad start to begin with?
I don't know why. Maybe it was just like we had a bad game against the Bengals and it started to carry over, but then something lit a fire. It was good to have EJ Speed back once he got going. He was all over the field like Zaire usually is.
Yeah.
And then Grover Stewart had a really good game. I don't know why we keep on having slow starts. It's almost like past seasons. We always have those slow starts, but hopefully that's not something that continues to happen.
It's usually at home, though. It's usually at home. It's never away.
Yeah.
You see how we did it?
Yeah, which is interesting.
Yeah. And since once they scored, we went back down the field and scored again. Same thing with the Titans. But at home, we just seem to be slow. I don't know what it is. It's something with I guess it's a home curse. I don't know what it is. But
I'm tired of Gus Bradley. That's what it is for me. This defense pisses me off, and I'm tired of watching it. Like the scheme is just. I'm done with it. I'm ready for it.
It's
ended already.
Yeah, but I mean, but the question is, does Shane Steichen get rid of Gus Bradley at the end of the season?
Yeah, it's not. Shane Steichen has no relation, no ties, no connections to Gus Bradley. It is not his guy.
Actually, so technically he does, because Gus Bradley,
in the past.
They have coached together in the past, so I'm gonna say that might cause there to maybe be a reluctance to let him go. Maybe
is it San Diego? I think they did. Maybe.
Probably.
I believe it was. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I hate this scheme so badly. You know what I would rather. You know what I wouldn't mind doing. I think I've talked about this before. Because I don't know who to go get defensive. I've been looking for defensive coordinator. It's just so hard to find like position player guys that are like ready to. Because you always see like these like coordinators that are ready to be head coaches, but you never see like position player coaches that are ready to be DCs, right?
Yeah.
I have a feeling that Eberflus is done in Chicago. You know, hey man,
bring him back.
If you need to go through coaching rehab. You want to come on down here? You know,
why not?
Familiar city. The scheme worked. You know, the guys were flying. But I think there was problems with his scheme too. A lot of people didn't like the scheme. A lot of the Colts fans didn't like the scheme when he was here. But again, I don't really. I threw that name out there because it's just a familiar name. I need to sit down and like dig into who. I really like a position, preferably a linebacker coach that's like ready for that next level. Because I think the number one problem is we don't tackle very well.
So Cato Jr. then?
Yeah, Cato. I mean, he is the current linebacker coach, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You also don't want a guy that's going to dramatically change the scheme because it is going to be a 4-3 scheme, right? That's the base. You probably want something that somebody's going to have a 4-3 base because that's what Ballard wants. Which, I mean, if Cato's been here this long, he's been here for a while now. I think he's been here for a couple DCs, so it's probably running runs. I don't know, but I what we've got right now is not working for me.
Well, you're right.
Cato Jr. might be interesting to like look into because our linebackers always come out and play really well.
They do. Yeah, they do. That's actually wouldn't be a bad choice.
Yeah. So I mean, if we're being honest, I think if we're trying to poach anybody off of a team, you kind of got to look at like some of those teams like that have been like defensively fantastic.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just like I think if you're looking at any of the teams, you're looking at a defensive coordinator potentially from or a position coach possibly from San Fran. Or you're maybe looking at somebody who's so I think it's kind of fair that it's just like if you have a good defense but it's going to be a lesser known guy, maybe try to poach them off of a different team. So it's just like if you're looking at teams, right? Like if you're looking at teams like right now, let's just say the top let's just say 8 teams for turnover differential. San Fran, Cincinnati, Dallas, Houston, Pittsburgh, the Giants, the Buccaneers, the Broncos, and the Saints. So those are all teams that potentially you look at and you say, all right, well, let's just see. Because like I said, if the turnover differential is actually pretty good, that means that they're able to go ahead and make plays against guys who are, they're able to kind of utilize what they have. But, you go ahead and you look at a team like the Giants, where the Giants, there's not like other than Dexter Lawrence, there's not a whole lot of notable names out there in terms of who's on that defense.
The other guy from I think Oregon, I think is Oregon. The guy that did the wings on Matt Ryan or Nick Foles.
Oh, Thibodeau.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Well, has he been playing? Because I know he was injured, which is good because he's a punk. But
But I do want to add on to this. We did interview the Giants DC as a head coach, so it would be interesting if he did decide to leave that team or if they start.
You said the Giants DC?
Yeah, we interviewed him for head coaching.
Week.
Don Martindale?
I think so. I think he was one of the finalists though.
Really?
Yeah, I think he was in the running for a little while, which I'm glad we kind of skipped over that. But I think so.
Yeah.
Also, very, very random scenario. Very, very random scenario. If this team ends up, let's just say, under-delivering, and they end up moving on from this guy, Robert Saleh.
Oh.
If the Jets move on from Robert Saleh, defensively,
that would be great. That would be amazing.
Yeah,
that could absolutely be something that would be worth looking into because I mean, like I said, it's just like he's been. I mean, defensively, it's just like I like him. I know that things haven't worked out, but then again, I mean, when you're a Jets head coach, does anything ever work out for you?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Never.
Who was the last good Jets head coach? Is it Rex Ryan?
Yes.
Legitimately, is it Rex Ryan?
Yeah.
I kind of agree with Leslie here. I don't think that they'd let him out. I think they are operating. I mean, despite he didn't want Zach Wilson, he got stuck with Zach Wilson. They go and get the guy that he wants, and he gets stuck with Zach Wilson again. So I don't think they'd let him go because the expectations were way different with a much different quarterback.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't think they let him go. If they did, I mean, if they did, they are stupid. But that's what the Jets do. So.
Yeah, true.
But I'd 100% take him. I'm looking at, I'm also looking at DB guys. Brandon Lynch is a name that sounds familiar to me. He's the DB coach for the Browns. That's a guy that would be interesting. I also think we need to get rid of what's his face? Give me a second, I'll find it. While I find it,
the guy on our team.
Yeah, we need to get rid of our defense. Ron Miles, that guy's got to go, man. That guy's got to go. Mike Mitchell, assistant. His assistance is not needed anymore.
Oh, yes, it is. He's doing good with the safeties. Yeah, he's doing a good job with safeties. Hell yeah.
Oh, safeties are playing well. Yeah, the DBs got to go. Ron Miles. Ooh.
Yeah. And we were talking about like he was like a DB guru, and
he's a DB boohoo. Like our DB,
he's not guru. But then moving back, right? Then moving back into the conversation with Shane Steichen, because like I said, it's just like you're down 13-0 very early.
Mm-hmm.
And then like there's been this thing recently, right? Where we're looking at these teams and we're looking at exactly like, okay, yep, there's a deficit. Here's where it is. And last year you're looking at it, you're just like, well, no, we're done for. Like because of how it is. But this year you don't have that same feeling, even if we go down early. Because like many games that we've had this season, like even let's just say like going back to week 4, going back to the Rams game, you're down 23-0, and then you go ahead and you battle back and you end up going to overtime.
Yeah.
And if not for a botched coverage, you're basically in that game all the way till the end.
Yep.
And now it's just like you're dealing with something that's very similar to it, because now you're down 13-0 at home, and here we are battling back, but then you lose Pittman, you lose Zach Moss, and meanwhile you have Trey Sermon, and you have Alec Pierce and Josh Downs and DJ Montgomery having to be your receivers because of Tyler Goodson having to be your offensive weapons because your main guys are out.
Yep.
And by the
DJ
way,
Montgomery dropped a gem. DJ Montgomery dropped the gem in the end zone.
Mo did too. Too.
Well, I mean, that's what Mo does. We know what Mo is. That's basically his career.
We know Mo.
When he caught one, I was like, oh my God, Mo Ali-Cox caught the football.
But to be fair, Andrew Ogletree stopped his route on one that
did.
had also been a touchdown.
He did. Minshew struggled the first half. I mean, as Minshew does, but he was kind of lights out in the second half. The defense kind of put the team in the right position. They gave him short fields. They allowed him to operate on their side of the field for the most part of the second half, which is why they became successful. But then they also had a couple runs. Trey Sermon had a couple good runs. Is it Goodson? Goodson had one really good run. I think it was like 45 yards, maybe 50 yards.
Stiff arm too.
Yeah, so I mean the offensive line this year has been spectacular.
Stellar.
It's like a complete
I'm
different
so
unit.
glad we don't have to talk about how
You saw Nelson
Bro.
break out. Oh my God. Yeah.
It brought back great memories. But yeah,
I'm
offensive
sorry.
line was spectacular this year. Has been spectacular.
Yeah, and I think we talked about that in the beginning of the season because we said that based on last year, this offensive line just wasn't it, right?
Yeah.
But then we said that because of the way that the offensive line had been and how it kind of deteriorated, that it looked like it might have been more of like a schematic issue than it was an actual issue with the talent on the line. Mm-hmm. And here we are, week 16, and we're looking at the team and we're looking at what Shane Steichen is drawing up or what Jim Bob Cooter is drawing up on offense. And it's allowing everybody on the line to work in a way where they're able to really just play to their strengths and not have to just worry about just playing a certain way. Because mind you, like I said, last year, halfback dive. You're basically running slants. You're not doing anything. There's no play action behind it. There's nothing there. And then now this pretty much the exact same O-line is out there. Well, the exact same O-line with the addition of some rookies are out there basically going and delivering in a way where this line looks way better than it did last year. But it's the only difference between this year and last year is the actual scheme.
It makes sense too.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, the scheme that Steichen runs probably, especially with as many young guys as you have in the offensive line, they basically kept it simple. Block up, block down, pull here, pull there. It's that simple, right? You don't have to worry about stunts, and if a stunt happens, you got to pick up this, or you got to do this technique in this. Like it's not difficult. I think they kept it easy, and like Leslie said, it's coaching. It goes back to Shane Steichen putting his guys, knowing who he has. We talked about it all year. knowing who's got on this roster. He hasn't complained one bit about the roster, the team development. They left that to me. They haven't complained once. He never complained once about.
You okay?
He never complained once about the construction of this roster or anything. So,
right.
With that being said, I'll be right back.
Okay, cool.
I can pick up.
Go ahead, Josh.
I mean, you lose your quarterback in week 5 with the offense. He kind of started to open up the playbook. So week 6 you go back to your backup quarterback. So everything is kind of conservative. Everything is, like you said, crossing routes. Dink and dunk type of offense, which is working out for us, and nobody able to stop it yet. It's getting the positive yardage. It's getting time of possession. It's getting a lot of yak yardage. It's working no matter who's catching the ball. You see Josh Daniel get catch. You see DJ, like you said. Pittman been on fire all year. He's at 99 catches and I think 1,060 yards. It just shows you he's our best receiver right now. Nobody's able to step up and match what Pittman doing. We're still, I think, we're top 10 offense. I don't want to be top 15 offense. I just say top 15. I haven't looked it up yet. We're still afloat. We're still moving without JT. Without we lose Zach Moss. Like you said, Trey Sermon come in, Tyler Goodson come in and run run pretty hard. Have some pretty decent runs, running hard. Got some stiff arms in. This team is just finding a neck to win, no matter who's in. Remember, a while back, this motto since 2017, even though it's all over the NFL. Next man up. We lose T.Y. Hilton. Next man up. It didn't work out. It seems like this year it's finally setting in. Next man up.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to next man up when you got Grover Stewart out or you have a EJ Speed out. It's kind of hard to do that, but the team still finding ways to win without those guys. And I just, like you said, credit to Steichen because he's just coaching them up. He's coaching up. We haven't seen Johnny Woods at all. You see Granson, he has some good games. You have Mo Alacox have some good games. Ogletree has some good games. Mallory has some good games. The receivers, whoever's in, Winfrey has a decent game when he played. DJ had a good game this past Saturday. Pittman had a good game against Tennessee. Like everybody is chipping in, and it's just exciting to see.
Yeah, but that's what we've kind of seen as far as what to expect when it comes to Steichen.
Right.
Like, because the thing is, it's not just the next man up mentality, but it's like, it just you got to be ready, right?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, you don't know how many people are going to get hurt. The NFL is a very the football is a very tough game to play, and it's just like running backs can get hurt, 1, 2 in a game, and so everybody has not just adopted that mentality. But nobody looks like a deer in headlights when their time has come. It's kind of like, I think other than cornerback, that's probably the toughest position that we've had issues with, where they've just been like, oh, I'm not sure exactly what we're supposed to do with that. Like we saw Tony Brown came in looking like a deer in headlights to a certain extent. And then we saw some other guy, but it's just for the most part, everybody responds a certain way. But then Steichen also knows that he's playing to the strengths of his team and playing to the weaknesses of what's out there. Mm-hmm. And I think that's probably one of the most important qualities to him, because he never gets, I wouldn't say it's just it's not necessarily out-coached, but he never gets too caught up in the moment of playing against who we're supposed to. The Browns have the number 1 defense in the league in terms of turnover differential. And yet we went all the way with them down to the wire, if not for, whatever god awful calls towards the end. But still being able to go, still being able to put up 30 plus on that defense that wasn't allowing 30 plus. That is something that, it comes with preparation, it comes with time. But moving on now, right?
I do want to touch on that personal foul on that cornerback. I know everybody been saying that it was a legal hit. There's no way you can say that was a legal hit. What you guys think about that?
So, now we have to bring in context. So, it wasn't the hit that got him suspended because the hit just got him fined. This was the hit in a series of hits that he had prior to that got him suspended. Prior to this, he'd been fined 5 times this season, twice in one game.
Yeah.
So this was conduct that had been happening over and over again. It just so happened that this was the time when this happened. Now, the issue that I have with the hit is that he saw that, this was a diving catch, right?
Yeah.
You see that it's a diving catch, and also you see exactly what's happening. He lowered and didn't play the ball.
Correct.
So he literally had to go into a full 90-degree angle just to go. And mind you, this is somebody who's running straight up full speed, and he's going into a down. Now, mind you, I don't know if anybody knows physics or anything, but the thing is, if you're running full speed and then you all of a sudden start moving into a downward position while running, you're going to have more velocity because of how gravity and all that other stuff works. So ultimately, it was a worse off hit because of the way that he did it, but also he never played the ball. If for some reason, let's just say if he'd gotten the hand in, if he, let's just say, had a hand there and then he had a hand on the ball and he still did that hit, I'd say, you know what? At least he went for the ball, no harm, no foul. There was no play on the ball at all.
He had a clean hit on Josh Downs early in the game,
which was actually kind of questionable too. So, when you're a guy that's like had those types of issues, like, to me, you let it go. Let him catch the ball, move on to the next one. Michael Pittman is defenseless in this. He is mid-air, right?
They can do it. Can't brace it. Can't brace.
The safety hasn't even made a move yet. He had time to avoid him, jump over him, jump or go around him. So this isn't like, it all happened. If it happens, the other thing to that, even if he wasn't playing the ball, if it happens simultaneously, or he's going in for a hit and Michael Pittman happened to dive at the wrong time, then that's a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
Kade, whatever the hell his name is, he had ample time to react.
Demonte
Casey, yeah, that guy. He had plenty of time to react and make a different move to avoid that hit. To me, I think he does it intentionally just because he has a history of doing this. He's been fined many times for this. It was completely avoidable. And now, he put Michael Pittman Jr. in a scenario where he's now at risk for probably missing this week. We don't know what we haven't heard anything yet on what his condition is, at least, or how he's doing. But at this point, it's ridiculous. Like the guy did it with intention to hurt. When you're doing it that many times, that's basically all you can say at this point.
Well, that was the point that was made before, because of the fact that everybody's debating it, and it was, I'd be remiss if I didn't say this right now, because we actually heard something from Tom Brady, and he's talking about, oh yeah, no, that's on the quarterback throwing hospital balls, and then somebody put together a compilation of him throwing to a wide receiver. Yeah, Logan Scotty, go follow him on Twitter. But basically, it's just like Tom Brady throwing said hospital balls, throwing knowing that Ray Lewis was going to be hitting people. Throwing in direct line of people. Yeah. And not only that, but the thing is, he was talking about player safety and, talking about how soft the game is. And yet this was the same man who got his big toe skimmed by Terrell Suggs in a game and then was asking a ref for a flag for roughing the passer. So I don't ever want to hear anything from Tom Brady about who's soft and who's doing this, that, and the other, because a lot of the rules that are in place today are in place because of
tough rule, yeah.
But they were hitting ACLs. Carson Palmer was out because somebody dove at his ACL and no changes were made. And yet, who was it? I think it was Channing Crowder, who mistakenly dove at Tom Brady's leg when he tore his ACL that year. I think it was 07 or 08.
Oh wait,
he dove at his leg, and then they changed the rule for how you're able to hit quarterbacks immediately.
Like below.
So I
the
don't
knee
ever
line.
want to hear anything from Tom Brady about toughness, because Lord knows he spent his whole entire career being protected by refs. So like I said, we're not gonna do that. But then moving on, it's a good question, and I want one that I want you guys' opinions on. Is the AFC more wide open than we think?
Yes.
You know what? I'm gonna say no. I after watching Baltimore on Sunday, I actually do think Baltimore separates themselves that much from the rest of the AFC. I actually think Lamar Jackson. Scary to believe, and I haven't been a big Lamar Jackson. I watched that game on Sunday and like, man, I'm terrified that Lamar Jackson might have actually figured it out. Because
figured it out, or is it that he's playing in a scheme now that utilizes him not just as a runner but as a passer also?
So that means it's been figured out, right? Whether it's him or the system around him that allows him to do what he's doing, it's been figured out. Whether and also I would say like he's throwing the ball better than he probably ever has in his career. He's making throws this year that I've never seen him make. I think it's probably a combination of both. He as a passer has figured it out. He has maybe the scheme has probably helped him understand how to figure out the balance between the run and the pass. I think Baltimore's defense is actually really good. That defense hasn't been this good in a little while. It's been a few years, and I think it feels like it's starting to come together. I mean, outside of Baltimore, there's not really a team that I don't want to play right now. I'll play maybe Miami, right? I don't know. But Miami's up and down too. Miami lost a 10-point lead with like 2 minutes to go. So am I don't know if I'm that worried about Miami. I'm worried that our secondary can't guard Miami, but they're not world beaters on the offensive line. Their offensive line is horrible.
Trash. So and that's something that I think has been highlighted numerous times, because that offensive line is really, really bad. But it's been covered up by the fact that they've had, you have Tyreek on these underneath routes where you can just throw to him real quick. Whereas if you back everybody off, you're going to be able to possibly dink and dunk, but the pass rush is going to be able to get there a lot quicker than expected.
Yeah.
You saw what Tennessee did.
Yeah, basically. I mean, is Tyreek been out? He's hurt, isn't he?
He missed last week.
Okay.
This past game, yeah.
So I don't really know. I think if anything, this really feels like this is the year that Baltimore probably has the most wide open ability to take the whole thing. But outside of Baltimore, I think it's Baltimore and then everybody else. Because I don't buy into that 10-4 record that Miami has. I think that's a bunch of bogus. They won a bunch of games early on. I think they're starting to be figured out. Their offensive line isn't very good. Their defense is meh. But yeah, I really think it's Baltimore and everybody else.
So then it is wide open then.
Yeah, so you're saying yes, it's more open.
The thing is, ultimately, it's just like Baltimore keeps the 1 seed, right?
More open than we think. Yes.
Yeah.
So then let's look at it like this then. Of all those teams 2 through 4, so right now you have followed by Jacksonville, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jacksonville is having some issues of their own. So Jacksonville right now, it's just like they're dealing with some things. Also, we don't know the extent to which Trevor Lawrence with this concussion thing, because it was reported that after the game he was in concussion protocol.
Yeah,
I don't think
he is.
That he had a concussion. So, but then also, probably this year is probably the most mortal that they've looked. And I mean, we keep on talking about the fact that they're saying that they need receivers and they need all these other things. But the one thing that I think is kind of being overlooked here is the fact that they don't look nearly as good as they've looked in the past. And there's a lot of games that have been much closer than they were or than they should have been this year.
Mm-hmm.
They've lost games, like even the Patriots game. You saw that they were frustrated. You saw that they were pissed off. I mean, when they don't get those calls and when they actually have to play football, when they actually have to play full fourth quarters, and they don't have, I'm going to say, officiating to rely on, that team is very, very, very
mid.
Mortal, whatever you want to call it. But they're not as good as they would have you believe that they are. And I mean, I think that also plays to a certain advantage also. And
the run game ain't that's good either.
Yeah, and I think Miami, they're very creative. I think they can beat you with the run and the pass, but once again, this is another team that's looked at like they're immortal, and they're really not.
Yeah, every game is winnable besides the Ravens game.
Yeah,
but we beat the Ravens.
But we beat the Ravens again, right? Yeah. So that's but I don't know, man. I guess I guess you're right. I guess it is wide open.
But yeah, and then also let's talk about the fact that Jacksonville. You gotta remember that Jacksonville right now, they're on what, a 2-game losing streak?
Three games.
Three games.
So the thing is, they're on a 3-game losing streak, but then you also have to factor in we don't know the status of Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, we don't. I think
that's the other guy. That's the other guy should be starting if he's not playing. That Beatherford, whatever his name is.
CJ
Beathard. They're having some issues with their wide receivers. Being on the show yesterday with the AFC South crew, Josh and Ammo were talking about Zay Jones having some issues. Sounds like in the stadium last year. Yesterday it sounded like Calvin Ridley is just kind of randomly running routes. Like he doesn't really know what he's doing out there.
Yeah,
that was called out.
They said he's running the wrong routes.
Yeah, so I mean, these are things that you think would be happening the first part of the season, and they weren't, and they're happening now. That combined with probably the seriousness of Trevor Lawrence, because after he got hit, which I didn't even realize he had a concussion, right? Mm-hmm. And then they said he went like 4 for 15 after that hit, where he had the intentional grounding, and that he ended up hitting his head on the turf. Yeah, he goes 4 for 15 after that. So, I mean, I don't know if that concussion is that bad to where it was that different. I don't know how serious that head injury is.
I think we gave Jacksonville too much hype because Trevor Lawrence is just another version of Daniel Jones in 48 starts.
No,
we're not doing.
Whoa,
that's we are not doing that, sir.
Put the Cayman Jacks down. Put it down.
Nasty work. But that is nasty work.
To that point, we've got to stop calling Trevor Lawrence a generational talent. The guy's not a generational talent. I said it 2 years ago. Listen, generational talents can perform. They can do anything they want, regardless of who's coaching, who's doing whatever. Trevor Lawrence everything to be perfect. He needed it in Clemson. He needs it in the NFL. He needed it in high school. He's always played with the best talent out there. Clemson was at their prime when they had Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I agree.
The high school he had, Clemson's talent now is trash. It's horrible. They're probably about to go back to being just a mediocre 8-4, 9-3 team because they don't want to evolve with the sport. But Trevor Lawrence doesn't have the talent that he had at Clemson, specifically at the trenches, offensively and defensively. They're not great on the offensive or defensive line. They're good. They're not great.
Yeah. But I think the generational thing just does need to I'm gonna say does need to calm down. I think I think generational is kind of getting thrown around when it comes to those college football players, the way that elite has when it comes to like NFL QBs, because we've been having this NFL QB who's elite debate, and mind you, there's quarterbacks who are playing great, there's quarterbacks who are playing good, but nobody's playing at an elite level right now.
No,
I don't think so. Not this year.
Yeah, and so the thing is, so if we're looking at it, it's just like, even Mahomes, for everybody saying that he's the best thing to happen to the quarterback position since sliced bread.
Looks terrible.
Even he looks like just a good quarterback, but even you see he's struggling and he's frustrated. And I mean, you can attribute that to some things, maybe lack of weapons, maybe lack of Eric Bieniemy. I mean, there's no telling exactly what that possibly is. But once again, it's just like there's no elite quarterback play this year. So, I mean, we have to, just call a spade, and we have to just let guys just be consistent because, once again, Trevor Lawrence doesn't look generational at all. And in order for somebody to be generational, it has to be somebody who literally checks off every single box they possibly can to be dominant, and then it automatically just moves over to the next level. So, why are you like this, Harish?
I'm changing my camera because I can't see you guys.
It's you. It's well, you're hinting to Andrew Luck being that generational talent.
Was he not?
No, absolutely.
Oh, I thought you did. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Andrew Luck was a generational talent.
No, absolutely, and I'm with you on that because he absolutely was that generational guy, and that's who he was, and I mean we get that. So I mean that, like I said, we understand that, but like I said, let's stop throwing around this generational, elite, all that. Like, let guys play because I mean he was given a lot of leeway when it came to that. And that generational thing just isn't working out for him. I think even Jags fans are kind of like frustrated with him right now.
Yeah. Real quick, shout out to Isaiah Davis. Thanks for tagging people, bringing them into the chat,
yeah, man,
making sure they're interactive, man. Shout out to you, Isaiah.
Shout out to Isaiah. We appreciate you, Isaiah. We always appreciate everybody just shouting out Colts Nation, everything. Yeah, just make sure that you're following us on Twitter, otherwise known as X, but we call it Twitter because that's what it is. And then also make sure that you're following the HorseShoe Mob on YouTube, so this way you're able to see videos, see clips. Josh has been A1 in the media game with going and just editing the clips and everything, so definitely do appreciate that. But yes, make sure that you're going and you're checking us out there. But we're gonna go ahead and just, because I do have another question that we're gonna get out of here, because we've been on here for almost an hour now. But you know what? Time flies when you're having fun. So it doesn't matter. Sam Sumi, you love Jalen Ramsey. But here, under Steichen, how far can this team go?
This year or just in general?
This year? Well, just this year. We'll save that. We'll save how far can they go, period. We'll save that for the offseason. But for right now, how far can this team go? 3 games left, potentially looking at a playoff spot.
That's so hard. It just all comes down to matchup, right? Like in that the playoffs is so different when you have a wide open conference, because now you're talking about who do you play, who's playing when you're playing because of all the injuries that have been happening. Where are they playing? What's the weather like? Like, there's so many different factors when there's so many different like variables in the teams that are playing already.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. I want to say maybe the divisional.
Yeah, I was in the division as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can beat anybody, but I don't think we're going to the Super Bowl this year. Like,
yeah, no.
Yeah.
But like, we can beat anybody. It's just like, we might.
Those factors play so much more.
Yeah.
We definitely can play the Titans in the playoffs.
The Titans can't play anybody in the playoffs. They're out there right now.
They can play Madden in the playoffs.
Yeah, they'll probably lose there too. So yeah. All right, and so.
Dang.
So, Leslie says second round playoff, so divisional round.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
That sounds about right.
Okay. So then, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and just talk about this Falcons game real quick, and then we're gonna get up out of here. But we got first is the Falcons this weekend. I believe we are. Is that in Atlanta or is that at home?
Atlanta.
That is in Atlanta. Yep.
Okay. And so right now, they have a quarterback quandary because they don't know who, or I think they said Taylor Heineke is going to be the starting quarterback. Not because Desmond Ritter's hurt, but because he's Desmond Ritter. So, I mean, I'm not going to overlook this team. I think the part where we always go wrong is the fact that we say, oh yeah, that should be a gimme. We should be all right. And yeah, I'm not doing that with this team. So what are we believing with this Falcons team or with this Falcons game? And what are going to be the keys to victory for us?
Put all 11 men in the box and stop Bijan Robinson. That's your key to victory. Literally, that's all you have to do.
Fair. That is fair.
I don't think we got to do that. I mean, because Arthur Smith's going to take him out anyway.
And he doesn't give it to him.
Okay. That's also very realistic. Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry for the sake of this game.
I told the Falcons to treat this man right. And what do? They don't give him the damn ball.
Listen, I have a buddy who is a Falcons fan through and through. And a few weeks back, they were playing a game where they ran a jet sweep. They ran a jet sweep with Jonnu Smith, passing to Kyle Pitts.
Yep.
Now, it ended up in a touchdown, which honestly, they got the result they wanted. But when you have a coach who says a jet sweep with Jonnu Smith passing to Kyle Pitts is a play that should be ran, you're dealing with a maniac. And we're not talking about a good maniac. This guy is, I'm going to say, for lack of a better word, I can't say the word, but I'm just going to say it rhymes with chimerist. Because there's no way that you believe. There's no way that you believe that Jonnu Smith should be running a jet sweep.
Yeah, he's
probably a better passer than the quarterbacks they have.
This is also true, but that's not the point.
They have a generational talent running back.
Yes.
And they're not using him. And yes, Bijan Robinson is a generational talent running back. I promise you he is. You just got to use the guy. That's like, what's wild, this is the same Arthur Smith that gave Derrick Henry 900 carries a year as an OC.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Bijan Robinson can't get more than 13 a game.
I mean, I love it. For Sunday, I love it.
And it's crazy because even with him not even getting the amount of carries that everybody believes that he should, he still is 13th in rushing with 801 yards.
A guy had 7 carries against the Panthers.
Man, I don't
like,
say.
What?
Is Frank Wright over there?
He might
not anymore,
be.
But yikes.
I guess.
Did Michigan call in something?
They could.
They don't need to stop the run. They don't even run the ball.
I'm trying to figure a way out. I guess stop Drake London. Stop. They don't use Kyle Pitts. So I mean, we got a team.
You know what? This is how you win.
This is a team that has the 2 most dynamic weapons probably in the league, and they refuse to use them.
Either
correct.
Of them. Just sit on the bench. Just go play offense. What are you doing, Madden? Super sim. Just super sim through the defense.
yeah, you're gonna have to. But here,
this
so
is tough, man.
So then what is really going to be what is going to be, because once again, even if it's not the case, as potato headed as Atlanta is, they still have a chance at making playoffs and win the division.
Yes.
So I mean, they're playing for something. I don't know if they're playing to potentially get into playoffs, but they're playing for something.
Well,
I think they're dang, we're trying to be bad, and we still can't be.
We saw what the owner said today for the head coach. Arthur Blank said.
I didn't hear what he said.
He was just pretty much saying, about job security for Arthur Smith. He was saying that we're gonna go ahead and play his last 3 games and then wait till we see type thing. Like, yeah, he didn't assure his head coach that he'd be back next year. So I mean, Arthur could be coaching for his job for the next couple games.
Could be.
Don't know. Losing to the Panthers make you do that.
Oh yeah, lose. Well, the thing is not just losing to the Panthers, but the Panthers are a division opponent.
Correct.
So losing to a division opponent that you have no business losing to is always going to be a cause for concern. So then, with that being the case, Austin, what is going to be the keys to potentially winning this game, and what do you see the score being?
Yeah, so last time we played Taylor Heineke was last year against Washington. We didn't get pressure on him, and he had a good game. So get pressure on him and stop Bijan if he gets the ball. Stop Drake London if he gets the ball. Just get pressure, force turnovers. And then hopefully Jonathan Taylor's back, and he can have a nice return. I think we win 31-17.
Ooh.
Okay. What about you, Harish?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, kind of the same. Just, Taylor Heineke snaps the ball correctly, hands it off to Bijan, and if he doesn't do that, so I have the Colts winning this game. Kind of the same thing, right? 31-17. Like, the Falcons are not a great team. They're a team that they're the team that is like in the playoff hunt that doesn't want to be, but they somehow ended up here. And so they just don't know what to do.
They also play in the worst division in football.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, they want to be. They want to be in that drafted QB tier place. So yeah, I would probably say 34. I'm going to say 34-17 as well.
34-17. Jeremy Barrett said 34-14. The Colts stay out of the damn zone. All right. What about you, Josh?
Yeah, much like what they said, man. Just if they do get the ball to Cornell Patterson, who else? Was it Anger? What's the other guy's name is? They got 3. Yeah, they got 3 running backs. And
Rajier, whatever. Yeah, whatever his name is.
Yeah, they got 3 running backs. If they do get them touches, attempts, yeah, stop the run. And get to the quarterback. We pretty much got the same defense as last year, and Tyler Heineke tore us up. I mean, with Scary Terry, which is a good receiver, and Drake is good as well. Cover our guys, cover those guys. Get to the, I think right now we have 46 sacks, tied.
Yeah.
Tied, so I mean, we can get some sacks, get some pressure going on, and then offense, get our guys going. And whoever played that running back, if it's the same guys. That's Saturday. Have those guys run. If Moss come back, who knows? Right now it's questionable.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to overstate and say that Falcons don't have a good defense because they do have a good defense. So I would say play turnover free. We didn't have a turnover on offense last week. So continue being turnover free. Get first downs and get some. We're gonna throw the score points. Put points on the board. I mean, and be aggressive. So I don't want to say 30 points because I think if Falcons got good defense. I would say maybe a 24-14 game, Colts.
Okay. All right. And I'm going to, I think this game, because this Falcons team is very, very strange. Like, it's like, I think we said last week, it's just like the Steelers team that we saw was probably like the worst above 500 team that we've seen in a while. And this Falcons team is so weird because they have games where they play pretty sound, but then they have some games where they just look like an absolute dumpster fire. And I mean, for me, I want to say that I believe that this should be a win, but I think this is going to end up being closer than we expect. I think this might end up going like maybe 27-21.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You got the Falcons winning?
Huh?
Yes, you got the Falcons winning?
No, I got the Colts. I got us winning.
Okay.
Because I think also, who said it? Somebody also said that we're 15-2 all time versus the Falcons.
Oh, really?
No,
Man,
I also don't
That's
want
shocking.
the commentators to say that, because whenever commentators say something like that, everything that can go wrong will go wrong.
Except whenever it's for us, like at Jacksonville or something like that. Don't matter what they say.
Yeah, yeah, that's
True. Yeah.
That's true. So then like I said, so let's just address this question. I know we talked about this earlier. It's just like, should the Colts think about letting Gus Bradley go this year? Our defense isn't so up and down anymore. Yes.
Yes.
We actually discussed
Don't think about it. Do it.
Yeah, we discussed
There's
that
nothing to
earlier.
think about.
I think it's just time, because that defense just isn't working anymore. I mean, yes, it's just like we do have guys on defense that actually can do really well, but it just has not been a good look all year.
Yeah,
So-
I checked the all time. The 15-2. It's the one game that they won. They won 28-21. The other game that they beat us, they won 38-7 and 31-7.
When was that?
2011 is when they beat us 31-7.
Oh, that's when everybody beat us. Nice.
Oh yeah, that was the year. That was the Curtis Painter year. So gotcha. Okay. All right, and then Leslie says stay out of that damn zone defense. Yep, that's exactly what they need to do, because it's just not working. But all right, so I mean, with that being said, guys, I mean that's it for us for tonight. It's actually been we were on here just, man, it's over an hour. It's been very eventful. And then, like I said, coming back after this week, we'll probably have a lot more to talk about. But I mean, with that being said, guys, where can the people find you on social media?
You
can find me.
Go
Okay,
ahead. You good.
go for it. Well, we'll have Austin go ahead. Austin, go ahead.
Okay. You can find me on Twitter at CookieAustin2, and shout out to Nick Cross for his first interception.
Yes, very much so.
All right. Yes.
Hey, also shout out to Michael Pittman Jr. over 1,000 yards. If not for
99
that one
catches.
hit, one
Oh,
reception
one.
away from 100 receptions for the year.
That's my receiver, baby. That's my WR1.
Uh-oh.
Oh, buddy.
I got to screenshot this.
Pay the man.
Oh, shit.
Go get him a number 2 in the draft, and he will cook. he might shred some barbecue. He might serve up some ribs. Go give that man a number 2, and he will cook. I'm done. I've seen all I need to see.
Good. I like that. Sounds like growth.
And he better not get paid and come out next year and disappoint me.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. Please don't say that.
Nah, he definitely won't. I think Shane Steichen is a guy that's not going to let people just go ahead and do that. I think we found a coach that's going to make sure that Michael Pittman Jr. is going to be a perennial 1,000-yard receiver moving forward. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. But Josh, where can the people find you on social media?
You can find me on Twitter at who is Josh Singer, and shout out to Chase.
Josh. All right, and then Harish, what about you? Harish?
Oh, yeah. You can find me on Twitter at the Uncle Gandhi. Also, Thursday nights, Longhorn Fan Battle. Join us this Thursday. We got a lot going on. Recruiting. National Signing Day 1 is tomorrow. got a lot going on, transfer portal stuff. See you guys Thursday nights, 8:30 p.m. Central Time.
All right. And you can catch me at CJ Colts fan on Twitter. And you can make sure that you are subscribing to HorseShoe Mob on Facebook. Make sure that you are definitely subscribing on YouTube. And yeah, so we will see you guys next week. And as a matter of fact, in the meantime, because like I said, Christmas is Monday. So in the meantime, have a Merry Christmas. And we will see you for the holidays and to any other non-denominational holiday that you may celebrate that's not Christmas. So yeah. So, hey, Jeremy says if you guys are at any home games by the Blue Crew lot next to Touchdown Town, oh yeah, we're very familiar. We're still trying to work out games. I think we talked about games, but we weren't able to necessarily get it completely worked out. But yeah, we're definitely gonna be making sure that we work on that. So thank you so much, Jeremy. Do appreciate you as always. And like I said, other than that, people have a great rest of your evening. We thank you. And as always, just remember that